Welcome to a brand new season in the Kitchen with the Breakfast Brothers. I'm your host, Ricky Booker. Step inside and let us feed your soul.
Welcome back to a brand new episode of In the Kitchen with the Breakfast Brothers. I'm Luscious Barbie and I'll be guiding you through today's episode. I'm so excited to present today's guests. On today's episode, we have Germain Trotter, the owner of B.O.SS. Now, the moment that we've all been waiting for. The man in the kitchen, connecting the dots from entertainment to food, giving us wisdom every day. Give it up for our host, Ricky Booker.
Welcome to a brand new episode of In the Kitchen with the Breakfast Brothers. I'm your host, Ricky Booker. There are so many things in the world that brings us together. Good food, a little bit of conversation does it every time. And in the Kitchen with the Breakfast Brothers, we love feeding your soul. Today's guest, he's the founder of Jet Relay Soul Festival and also the owner of Business Office Setup Services. And also my brother from another mother. Germain, we call him Trotter. Come on in here, brother. What's up?
What's going on, bro?
Long time. Been trying to get him on the show. He been dodging me. We know that ain't true, huh?
Oh, no. You know how that is. We got to connect with our folks whenever we can.
Yeah, Luscious didn't know what, she just said boss because she could never get all those words out.
Yeah, I tried to simplify it by using the boss, because I know that we use that term a lot in our community. So people feel like Luscious, she ain't got to pronounce the whole word, the whole
I want to know, personally, I kind of know the story, but tell me how you decided to start B.O.SS.
Man, I tell you, it's kind of you want the long story or the short story?
We're going to get to all the story. Yeah, we got all the story because we got to do it at sit down too. So you can tell the short story. But first of all, we won't get to the food part now because I got to ask this question because, being that you know about the furniture and you the boss about interior like this, like I said, it's interior design. You know about stuff like this. How in the world did you come up with thinking that sauteed?
Okay, man, so this is the story. So I was in college, had a college roommate. He's from Southern Louisiana. They got that dialect down there. It's kind of a weird Cajun. And so he was cooking potatoes, and I thought he was saying he was going to cook some sauteed potatoes. So we tasted them, just some breakfast potatoes. So we came out, and they were a little bit seasoned. I said, oh, okay, I think I can do that. So I brought the recipe home, what I thought was a recipe for sauteed potatoes. I thought it was just salted potatoes.
So you put a lot of salt in?
I put a lot of salt in them. But Mama had everybody at the breakfast table, gave everybody high blood pressure.
I bet you was proud about making you had your first deal you gonna make.
Because I thought the brother was saying sauteed potatoes. I didn't know he said sauteed.
Because the way the Cajun way of talking that they are in Louisiana, so he was deep Louisiana.
Exactly. So
that's all right. So can you cook? Have you graduated from that part of it?
Yeah, a little bit. In college you got to learn how to cook for yourself. But I grew up on a farm, in southern Arkansas. So my grandmother and my grandparents, they had a farm and they had chickens and hogs and had a smokehouse in the back. So we had to go out and get the eggs from the chickens. Right. And my grandfather, he would hang the hog and smoke them in the house, and then that's where we got
the
bacon.
Real live stuff right there.
Oh yeah, we did the real thing. Everything we ate came out the yard, Yeah,
so that's a true indeed conversation when you call it a brunch from the South.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I remember when I was my great uncle had a chicken coop, and when I used to see the chicken alive, and I see how they killed them, I wouldn't eat. Just like we went fishing, I couldn't eat a fish that I just seen alive. Yeah, and they finna kill. But I could eat it if it was already dead. But if I seen it alive, it was a wrap for me. Yeah. I could not eat it, especially the way I eat and cook. I just couldn't do it. But.
Well, that country boy, breakfast is. I think breakfast is affiliated with country life.
Yeah, it is.
That's like the most important meal of the day. Yeah. In the country.
They may not cook nothing else the rest of the day, but that one meal, 6, 7 o'clock in the morning, you better get up and cook to us.
5:30 in the morning, we hearing the bacon sizzling, and we got the eggs cracking and everything going on. So that was our lifestyle going on. So
well, this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna go back to the sit down because I know we got some breakfast brothers that you're gonna try out too that you ordered.
Oh yeah.
In the time being, we're gonna talk about all that B.O.SS, the jet relays and everything at the sit down. But in the time being, we're gonna go back and see what Luscious had going on.
What's up, y'all? It's your girl, Bardin. I'm actually here at the restaurant at the Redbird location, and we gotta know what do the customers think about the food. So let's just find out. I'm here with John,
yes, indeed.
and
Drake.
and. All right, y'all. And these two separate tables, but baby, because they together, we're gonna find out what they got. All right. So what did you eat? Chicken and French toast. Ooh, and the French toast, let me tell you about it. It's not just no regular bread, okay? The Breakfast Brothers is coming all the way with fresh bread from the bakery. It's flown in every week. I don't know if you got the exclusivity of the Breakfast Brothers, but you got it.
I had the special, the 2-egg special, and it was off the chain in Jesus' name. That's why I came to the Redbird Breakfast Brothers.
Okay, say it off the chain.
That's what I said.
All right. All right. He ain't prepared for TV. Do you hear me? Okay. And you got chicken and waffles, classic. Chicken and waffles. She didn't have to do too much, okay? She just got chicken and the waffles because it's something for everybody. And what's your name? Danny. All right, Danny. How do they find you?
her_REFLE. I'm a hairstylist out here.
Okay, so you never know, because you can get your wig slick and you can get you some food. How do they find you?
I found them. I was hungry, looked over and saw the Breakfast Brothers. Heard Drake, came in and just loved it.
So Drake brought
great
you.
service. And then
Drake, thank you for bringing him. How do we find you?
I'm not on his social media.
Okay. So Drake is out in the world scouting it out. He don't do social media, and that is an amazing thing. But you can follow our social media at _Breakfast Brothers on Instagram, Facebook, Breakfast Brothers, and you can go to www.breakfastbrothers.com. Download the app because you don't want to miss out. Until next time, let's go.
DJ Trott.
Stony Crook. You know them boys know the clown, cause we off the hook. Off the chain with everything, you best to take a look. French connection in this text and got my body shook. Now make them players say,
Ballin' so hard and make it hard now. We right on, and it's a diabolical. He's not just your average baller. We right on, and it's a diabolical. 20-inch blades on the drop top, please. Ballin' so hard, doing it so free. He's not just your average baller. We right on, and it's a diabolical.
yeah, it's drippin', drip on the shed, Grease classic, already. Do the fool, watch me climb. This is that Caprice music, it goes down. Yeah, it drippin', drip on the shed, Grease classic, already. Do the fool, watch me climb. This is that Caprice music, it goes down. Oh Lord, Jesse made another one.
Packing the mail, it's gone. She like I smell cologne. Yeah, I just signed a deal, I'm on. Yeah. I go where I want, good. Play if you want, let's do it. I'm a young CEO, sure. Yeah. The first nigga play on my body. I just check my balance, I probably pull up to your hood and come buy me a new cap. You know that your hoe told you that nigga crazy. Don't think that she lied to you. Get caught with your hoe when I'm popping them both. Now they hot just like Bobby and Whitney. Stay on the go, act like I don't know. But fuck it, I'm obviously winning. Don't make me go eat the bank. Take out 100 to show you our pockets are different. I'm out with your bitch and I only want knowledge. She got a little mileage, I'm chillin'. You disrespect me and I beat your up all in front of your partners and children. I'm the type to let you think that I'm broke until I pop out with $1 million. It takes 20K and put that on your head and make one of your partners come kill you. Yeah. Say you with me, then you gotta grow up. Cause this nigga gotta be kid. This shit can fit in my pocket. I got it. Like I hit the lottery. Wicked tones, you know.
DJ Trott.
Metro Boomin want some more.
Wiggy. Hold up, way yo. Wiggy. Hold up, way yo. Stand up in the motor, bust the dashboard. Stand up in the motor, bust the dashboard. Hold up, wiggy. Counters burning, money.
Think it's a game.
I came up from nothing.
All right, we're here at the sit down with Germain Trotter, a good friend of mine, and he ordered red velvet waffle and chicken. And a lovely Tatiana's gonna bring it. Hopefully she don't fall.
Hey, how you doing?
You ready for us to feed your soul?
Oh yeah, feed my soul. Feed
Enjoy.
But they say feed me, see mouth feed me. Oh, that's looking awesome, man.
I'm gonna let you go ahead and get a couple bites on them because you know we got a lot to talk about.
Oh yeah, for sure, for sure.
Some people say they don't.
I've been hearing about these
syrup.
the red velvet.
So you never had
waffles.
them? People, some people don't even put syrup on it.
You know, when they say red waffles, I gotta get the side out a little bit.
Crispy. You know, there's the sweetness in the chicken, the chicken too. You gotta have to eat the chicken at the same time. So the saltiness and the sweetness go together. That's what I call the clashing part, the addicting part of it. He said, Come on, Keith. You know, that's an inside joke. We call him Keith Sweat, but
oh yeah, we ain't gonna start.
He can't do no singing, but Keith can't either. No, Trott, man, we're gonna get right into it because we come back, we go way back. A lot of things that you've been involved in, from the music industry, from promoting, from growing up on the farm. Let's talk a little bit about that. We talked a little bit in the kitchen, but I want to know a little bit more about that as well. That fresh breakfast, how you say y'all used to get it from the hog.
Well, farm life, that's if anybody hadn't grown up in a farm life, it's kind of it's a unique experience. You have to get up 5:30 in the morning. You got gardens about the size of a football field, and you get up and you got to eat your breakfast. That's the first thing you got to do to get your energy up. Mm-hmm. And so that's why breakfast is always the most important part of the meal of the day. And so we had to go fetch the eggs from the chicken coop or whatever, and homemade bacon just fresh out of the smokehouse. Granddad come in and cut it up or whatever and fry it up.
You worked and done all of these things at the same time too.
Hey man, we had to eat on a full stomach, and you work for you eat. Yeah. That's how it works.
So that's truly indeed what they say. You eat what you kill. So you kill a hog, you eat that bacon.
Oh yeah, hunting, fishing, everything. We did all that in the country.
So I see where the entrepreneur background come from. Then let's fast forward to where you went to college and order that began.
All right. I went to Grambling State University. Like I said, my family, we all had my mom and my uncles and them, they all went to historically black colleges, mm-hmm. And so it was set up on us to go to college at an early age. So of course I had to be the oddball. I went to UAPB, University of Arkansas, Pine Bluff. I said, I'm gonna go to Grambling. I'm gonna go to Louisiana, the rival school. So that's what I did, and it was a very great experience, one of the best experiences of my life. Mm-hmm. And of course you meet people and you develop other skill sets and talents, and it opens your mind up to the opportunities in the world as far as what you can achieve, coming from where you came from.
Right.
Fort Worth, east side of Fort Worth. One of those areas where you have to do a lot, street life, mm-hmm. A little bit of that going on.
I was getting ready to ask you that question too, to the point of, let's talk a little bit about the path and the life that you took where you ended up catching a case when it came to doing what you did. Let's talk a little bit about that.
Yeah. So, the unique thing is I caught a drug charge while I was in college, actually. Mm-hmm. And it's one of those things, and I tell everybody, I don't talk about that experience too much, but as I gotten older, it's one thing I'm trying to do is tell my story so that it can save another life for somebody that's coming up. They may make the same mistake.
Right.
College was one of those things where I thought, my mom, being a single mother, I was looking for ways to pay for my college. Of course, I'd been accustomed to street tactics before college. However, I just kind of weaseled my way through it, got to college, and hit a spot to where I just kind of dabbed in it a little bit just to try to pay some tuition, and got caught up, and had to go through that experience, which was a life-changing, of course, life-changing experience because, when you get that mark on you, you don't realize how much damage it do to you, and it puts you in another mindset of where you have to make altering you have to make some other decisions.
It's funny you say that because last week I had a gentleman, Christopher Allen, on the show, and he talked about his past tense of him getting in trouble and catching a case, and also now he's developing where he's got a program where he helped inmates as well, and hired them and teach them and stuff. So I've been knowing you for 20-something years, and I never knew that story about you, because sometimes you say you can judge the book by the cover, the good way and the bad way, and I just never knew because I judged the book by the cover. So sometimes, and you came from that lifestyle to where it generates you into. Let's talk about the music, how you jumped into the music and the promotion side of it.
So I'm gonna tell you, I've had an interesting journey as far as trying to find my way of what I wanted to be. I think all that comes with imagination and creativity, and I think in a world where being raised by a single parent, you're trying to figure out your way through life as far as a young man, and you got to become the man of the house. So therefore, you develop different hustles and mentality to try to make sure you can be the man you need to be.
Right.
So that's part of where the hustling in the street, going to college, trying this and trying that. I was always a writer. I always had a talent and a love for writing from journalism. And so I didn't really have a lot of friends, so I started channeling that through the music. I started writing. I got into the music scene by trying to be a rapper, entertainer. Then, of course, that transitioned into me wanting to just start my own label, being independent at an early age. And so learned that craft, got into it, and promotions and other things led into that. You meet people. Right. We met.
Yeah, that's how I met you through the industry, because you became part of the new management team when the R&B group High Five, they came back with the return of High Five, and you was part of the management group at that particular time when I met you.
Right, and so that was a great experience. And you get into those arenas, and then you get into promotions and marketing, and you just kind of develop a love and a knack for that. And I think my entrepreneurial skills kind of kicked in at that time too, because you had to be everything. You had to be a manager, CEO, all that kind of stuff, and all of it was part of the process of what I was to become, or where I was becoming into. So,
and the whole time when you was going there, I did notice that you always had a job, and it was in the background of the office interior, which developed you. We started talking earlier in the kitchen about where did B.O.S. come from and how did it come from. Let's talk a little bit about that, fast forward, and talk about how B.O.S. was created and what made you do that.
So, when I caught the charge and I came out of college, I took this position. It was, they didn't hire people who had backgrounds back then. So I had to take a position with a company that was willing to take me, accept me with my background. And it happened to be a company called Corporate Interiors, and it was a small company, kind of like mine today. And I learned it, and I got into that marketing arena, and I learned that part of the business, and I kind of stayed in that business, not knowing that that's where I was going to end up. You never know,
you never know.
But that's how God planned it, you know. And I think that as I look back on it, going into it, learning it, and it navigating me and setting me up to be where I am today. I think that's where I think that's where my motivation came from, as far as seeing that part of the business.
And when you say B.O.S., with the what does the initial stand for?
Business Office Setup Services is what it stands for.
Which since the point that you started, he set up my office at my custom shop. He set up my home office for Breakfast Brothers now that we have now. I got an office at home. He set up my office at my house. So, when it comes to those things, he does it all. When it comes to interior office, if you got a home office at home, you got a home office outside in a retail spot, in a retail area. He has furniture that you pick from and that you can pick and design your own office area, and he brings it and delivers it to you. So, it started when it first started in my custom RB custom shop back then.
Yeah, that's an interesting story. So people always ask me, Germain, how'd you get into this business? I tell that story about, I started working for another guy who was in the business, and I just learned from him. But I was always scared to push the button and start my own business until I saw you do it one day. I knew you were working at another dealership, And Ricky, we go way back. We do a lot of things, whatever. We go way back. But I remember the day he started his business and he just left the company. And I said, golly, man, how you just gonna quit and just do that? And he's like, yeah, and I saw him jump off the ledge and I saw him do it. And when I saw him do it, it actually motivated me to do it.
And you didn't say nothing to me about it. And what happened was, me and my business partner, we opened up a custom paint shop. So I called, Germain, which we call him Trott. I called Trott and said, man, I need you to furnish the body shop. He said, yeah, I said, I got a showroom, I got a conference room where we're gonna do the designs for the cars, this and the third. Yeah. So he said, okay, cool. I picked everything. He showed up and he had his boss truck and he had employees and he had boss said, so who is boss? You didn't work for somebody? He said, nah, man, I quit. You inspired me, and I quit and started my own company since then, since the last time he furnished RV Custom. So and here it is. That was 2015.
2015. And I think that it's important to surround yourself with people like that, and that's what people say. Surround yourself with people who, that's gonna have the same energy,
right?
That you trying to do. Get somebody. Don't be the smartest one in the room. Be in a room with somebody smarter than you.
Right. And the main thing you just said is energy. Man, I cannot stand to the life of me to have people with bad energy around. You have people around. Let me explain something to the viewers. If you got somebody with bad energy around them, get rid of them. Don't leave them around. It's bad energy. Get rid of them.
Yeah.
Get rid of that energy because it's bad. Depending on, a lot of times people stress off of things. People eat and gain weight. People don't eat and lose weight. Negative energy is bad for you. Give you heart attacks, high blood pressure, all above. But that's another thing. I didn't jump to a whole nother. That energy, boy.
But it's something that we need to push. You know what I mean? Like I said, even in the life of business of where I'm at now, you have to study. Be aware of your surroundings. Even the people you hire, the people that you do business with, the people that are around you. You have to be very conscious of that, of your environment, your space. So,
what made you decide to jump into the relays, the Jet Relays Soul Festival that you just started? It's been about 2 years now. The pandemic kind of stopped it in the middle when you kind of got kicked off. What made you decide to do that?
Well, I tell you, I was going through a transition in my life as far as when I started B.O.S., it's almost like just cracking open that door. When you get in there, you're able to do that. You now feel like you can accomplish or do anything. And so when I saw that I was able to do that and build up that, it motivated me to want to do something to give back to the community. We had always promoted events and things like that, but I wanted to promote an event that was going to motivate the community or do something for the community.
Now explain to what Jet Relays are, because we spoke about it in the kitchen and now, but we hadn't really told anybody what it was.
Yeah, so Jet Relays is the historically black. It's a track and field event that features historically black colleges, and we do it in Fort Worth every year around March. It's a festival. We have music, live music. We have vendors, food trucks, special guests, celebrity guests. It's hosted by a comedian. It's just a fun fair. We have all the HBCU track and field teams that come out.
Some of the top athletes when they come to track and field.
Oh yeah, for sure. And it's just a great experience. Like I said, we have a college fair. We give away scholarships to students that are going to be attending HBCUs. It's just a phenomenal event. It's growing every year. Actually, we're working on one for Vegas this year.
Okay.
Yeah, coming up in April. So, but yeah, that's what, when you get into the game of doing things like that, I think that it motivates you to want to do other things.
Right. You're being humble right now. You got to tell everybody what it is that you do for what it is you on Fort Worth panels for the city, all the things that you're involved in Fort Worth before we go, and explain to everybody how they can get in touch. But tell everybody about those things you're involved in.
Well, I try to say I'm a community advocate. But really, I'm just a person that's for the community. I want to see us win. I want to, give our kids a chance and opportunities that we didn't have. So I try to go out and partner up with different organizations that's going to help our youth. I currently sit on the board of the Black Tourism Advisory Committee for the City of Fort Worth. And that is a committee that is dedicated to trying to promote black tourism in Fort Worth. You know, Fort Worth is going under a new, trying to build a new profile for itself as far as trying to be more culturally involved as far as with the black community, as far as building, developing, economics, education. And so I'm proud to sit on that board, and it's been a very humbling experience. Being in a seat,
Right.
first of all, is very important. Being in a seat of that nature to where you can help make decisions and bring things to the city.
Well, look at there.
Yeah.
You know, Germain Trotter coming from a small town in Arkansas, South Arkansas, to where he is now. Like I say, everybody that you do and that you see and that you're involved with, if you have a vision and a dream, stick with it. It doesn't matter if you catch a case or you get a record, your criminal background. The only person that can stop you is yourself. You know, when God have your vision, you start paying attention in the direction that He has you in. Can't nobody change that. It comes much easier. You know, I went to the Concord this past Sunday, and Pastor Carter had a great message about relationships and respect.
Right.
You know, at the end of the day, when it comes to that point, if you worthy, you know, you worthy. Nobody can change that. But if you respect yourself, others will respect you.
Most definitely.
So,
and
you know, this way it's got to be.
Yeah, and you know, I say it's been a humbling experience because you know you never know where God is going to take you. You know, He put me in a position where I can hire. I've been able to hire over 300 people over the past 2 years. Hire youth from the community that have been in trouble and all that. So I just consider it to be a blessing.
Okay.
You know.
Well, let everybody know where they can find any details and any events you got going on, how they can keep up with you.
Yeah, you can reach me at 844-800-2677. That's BOSS. 844-800-BOSS. www.bossofficesetup.com or www.jetrelays.com.
Okay.
You know, we want y'all to come out. Like I said, the date this year is going to be March 11th, Jet Relay Soul Festival, Fort Worth.
Man, thank you for coming on, Trott. Keep going and keep doing what you're doing, man.
Oh, yeah.
Much more success. And if you want something that's on the menu that you see today, River Waffle and Chicken that Trott had, right there in Arlington, 130 East Bardin Road, and also the new location, Oak Cliff, 3704 West Camp Wisdom, each and every Saturday right here on CW33 1030. And also our sister station, Freedom 43, Oklahoma City. See you next week.